Yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is episode 684 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is the Indy Report, and I have my brother, Jeff Johnson.
Oh, man.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, God. I know it's been a minute. I'm sorry, people. Listen, I got two little monsters hiding. I'm hiding from them in my little basement, so...
You have transitioned to beautiful twins to monsters. Like, do you realize where you've gone? You've made the trek, so to speak.
You know what? I have not shaven. I'm literally like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, man. I had all these plans, but you know, they go out the door. Yesterday was my birthday, and
happy belated birthday, sir.
I appreciate it. I was only at the house for like 3 hours, man. I went to play golf, and probably like at that, you on that back nine, and you get that text like, yeah, you need to get back here. Yeah, wife over here struggling. So, but I will say we did hire a nanny, an au pair. But
you know what that means? You know that means you can't hire money, man. You out here hiring nannies. You can't hire money, my brother.
You know what though? Listen, I mean, right now I think that fund run out at the end of next month, so it's over. yo, you know what though? And I hate to say it though. It's like sometimes I'm like, cause she stays here. It's like, man, listen, we trying to hide her from ICE, man.
All right, let me run through this intro before we have another laugh. Jeez Louise, man, hiding her from ICE is crazy. Welcome to episode 684 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, i.e. all things HBCU sports, from institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU's athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rhodes. Tariq Wilson is on assignment. Brandon King will be here later in the show. And, of course, we have Jeffrey Johnson. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. It has been a while, sir. It's been a few weeks since we did the show, and I'm going to formally apologize because part of it is. I always apologize because look, man, I try to keep some level of consistency here.
But it's the summertime. We really gearing up, man.
We are.
It's like, and I think people understand that. So it's all good.
I know. It's just for me. It's been kind of crazy. And yeah. Edwin's out here asking me if I'm having withdrawals. Look, man. In 3 weeks, my daughter is heading to Long Island, New York. In 3 weeks, she's heading there. She's leaving early this time because she got into this leadership program.
Oh, nice.
She's getting in. She's going to move in a week earlier than the rest of the students.
Nice.
They're going to do some leadership stuff and community service type work in the Long Island area in Hempstead. Yeah. So she's looking forward to doing that. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not having withdrawals, man. I'm actually looking forward to an empty nest. I only have a child in here 2 days a month, 2 days a week.
Woo.
Once that happens, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
I'm honestly looking forward to it.
Nice. So, what do you say?
I'm not slow on I don't have to slow down, man. I'm efficient. I'm efficient with the intro. I got Jeff for one segment. I want to get through some things before we go to our first break. So I gotta be efficient with the intro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So which way you want to go, man? Do you want to like? I'm going to talk to. When Brandon gets on, I'll probably have get his perspective on certain things. But we're definitely going to talk about what's going on with what happened with CAA Media Day. I think that's a worthy topic of discussion right now.
Okay, all right. So I've been kind of in and out on it, so you got to kind of lead that.
I got you.
And then
I got you. I got you. I should go pull the audio, but I'm not going to. But I can knock it clean. So we'll start off with CAA Media Day.
Okay.
So CAA Media Day happened last week.
Yeah.
Projected orders finish.
Yeah.
They had A&T 14th.
Yeah.
They had Hampton 11th.
Yeah.
So how you feeling? How you feeling about the ranking, man? But they had Rhode Island winning the whole thing, by the way. For those who had Rhode Island, which I expected. Rhode Island really good this year.
Yeah, no. I definitely agree with Rhode Island. I also think Monmouth is a little bit low for my taste as well. I think Hampton at 11th, man. I
thought it was egregious.
I don't like it. Like what Boykin has done is he's built up the offensive line. He's looking for we're I would say a little bit slow in finding a consistent pass rush, but we got a great secondary. And we have the transfer quarterback coming from Lincoln, was it CIAA Player of the Year? And so, I would say this, a lot of people around the program are really high on that kid. I think for us, a lot of us were kind of low on Christopher Zealous, the previous QB, he could run, just couldn't throw. And so it seemed like the offense stagnated a lot. So plus we have good running backs, Jaquan Snipes, and we did lose a couple of guys to the portal. We lost a couple of kids to Michael Vick's program, but they were okay. But for the most part, I think that we are probably within that 5, maybe like that 5 to 10 range, not 11. Definitely not that far back. So
yeah, I think you're better than Maine. I think you're better than Elon. I think you're better than Campbell.
Yeah.
The top 4 are pretty, for those who don't know, Rhode Island was picked to win.
Yeah.
Monmouth was 2nd, Villanova was 3rd, Stony Brook was 4th, New Hampshire was 5th, Townsend was 6th.
Yeah.
I'm 7th.
I'm gonna be honest, I like Monmouth better than Rhode Island this year, even though I know Rhode Island. I know, but this. Listen, I know. First of all,
and maybe it's my bias because I live up here.
Exactly.
But I know, but they were legit last year, right?
Oh, they were.
I think Monmouth's probably going to have a more potent offense, but I think what's going to put Rhode Island on the edge is their defense.
Yeah.
That's
we almost beat them though.
Now, and by the way, I am buying my tickets for your game. So
look, I'm sorry, y'all needed me on I wouldn't say the S word, but y'all needed me on some sort of watch during that game because that 2-point conversion. Oh man, whole defense that way, quarterback that way.
Yeah. So we almost beat them in Rhode Island a few years ago.
Yeah,
that was Coach Brown's closest win. Conference win.
Yo, remember, where's he at now? What's he doing?
He chilling, man. He's out here tweeting political statements, which props to him. He out here going at the neck of our current commander in chief. Yeah,
Brown.
Oh yeah, I follow him on Twitter. He follows me back. Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He got bought out, so he got a check coming every week.
He definitely got a check.
Look. But okay. Since we're on this topic, I need you to be 100% transparent on this. 100%.
Okay.
You can say it now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can say it now. All right. Was this did you really because I've said this many times, you denied me, but now was that Lee Fobbs era 2.0?
Man. Fobbs lost 27 straight games, bro.
He was on his way.
Huh?
He didn't lose straight, but he was on that way though.
He had 2 winless seasons, didn't he?
Yes.
And he lost the Division II programs then.
Yes, he did.
At least he didn't do that. At least Brown didn't do that.
Yeah.
At least Brown didn't do that.
It was close. It was close.
And we beat Norfolk. So
yeah. Y'all did. Y'all beat a big worm Norfolk though, man.
Look, Big Worm got paid a lot of money to go coach Norfolk now.
He sure did.
He got paid a lot of money to go coach there.
But this is what I would say with Norfolk. You know, they paid a lot of money to bring him out of Southern, and he still wasn't able to win there. So, what do they think Michael Vick is going to do?
I think they're hoping that Michael Vick will culminate to try to change the ways because A&T's been attacking their area for a very long time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So I think they're trying to get that back. I think if they get that back, that's probably a win for them. They're not winning the MEAC. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. That out there on the line. They're not winning the MEAC. Unfortunately, the team that is going to win the MEAC, I'm not going to be thrilled about, but they're not winning the MEAC. I will say that. A couple other notes from the media day. Jonathan Ward from Hampton was all conference. So in the CAA, they only have one all conference team. So all the teams in that CAA only have one all conference team, and they have honorable mention.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Ward from Hampton made all conference on special teams as a specialist. Corian Sharp from A&T, offensive lineman, made preseason all conference team for the CAA. Honorable mentions for us. Will Hicks, the safety from Hampton. And Aaron Harris, kick returner from A&T.
Yeah.
So overall, considering where they placed us, that kind of tracks.
Yeah.
Like I said, A&T was slated to place last. I expect them to be slated to place last. I expect the disrespect. You could have argued maybe 13th with Bryant because Bryant ain't that good either. But we don't play Bryant. So, the last time we did play him, we did beat them because they had to come to Greensboro when they were in the Big South. But either way, that's neither here nor there. But one big thing that came out of the media day was something that was asked at Gibbs, and Gibbs made a comment, and it kind of ruffled a lot of HBCU feathers the wrong way.
What did he say?
Let me see if I can pull the quote. But basically, he pretty much said, they dominated the HBCU space, so we wanted to go to greener. We wanted to go to bigger and better.
Okay.
And try to compete for FCS national championship.
I heard that. Yeah. You know what though? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. So
no, that was basically it. Like I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't have an issue with what he said. Like he what he said was we won 4 out of the 5 first celebration bowls. Nobody else has more than 1 as of now. I think that probably going to change this year. So and he basically said, now we want to try to do this in another space. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You know what? It's nothing wrong with that. And I understand what he meant. I think the delivery could have been better.
Okay.
He's basically saying that we done made it out the hood, really. And
I don't know. He said it like that.
Okay. All right.
He basically said, look, we've already kind of look, man, there were 5 celebration bowls while we were in that conference, and we made 4 of them and won all 4.
Okay. You know what? And it's like if you're
with the undefeated
FCS,
season, which hasn't happened since.
If you're winning FCS championships, then you're like, okay, we need to move up to FBS now. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's the path. It's going to be an uphill battle. Because A&T's got a lot of things we got to get right. We do a lot of things right. But there's more that we have to do to be able to compete in that conference.
Oh no, absolutely.
But I don't think we're going to place last in that conference. I'll go ahead and I'll put that on the record right now. I don't think we'll place last in that conference.
I agree. Hold one moment.
Yeah, I understand why they had us rated as 14th, but I don't think we're going to place last in that conference. I honestly don't. I think we're going to be more competitive than last year. I think Gibbs being there alone is going to add a few wins because he's going to coach those guys up. And he also discussed about how he loved how the guys are working their butt off to get ready for this, which was a good sign.
Were they not working their behinds off when when the previous regime was there?
I'm not want to talk about what happened in the past right now. I've heard some stories. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. Okay. So, judging by the recruits that he's brought in, I am kind of, I didn't see too much, I would say, of a bump as compared to the previous regime.
No, but but at the same time, I also would argue when you have 2 seasons where you only won 1 game, and 1 year you didn't win a game more than 30, you lost the average of 30 points at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. I mean, on top of that, Gibbs got hired in what, January, I think? He got hired in January. He got folks that's going in and out of the portal.
True. Okay. Makes sense. You know what though? When he said that, I could see the swackies, the swackos, being a little bit upset with that. Like,
but the irony of it is, and Edwin, man, and the wild thing is that somebody that was like on Twitter seeing this unfold and the reactions of after he made the comment, there was 2 things I felt about it. The first thing I felt about it was there weren't anybody from the HBCU space that really like covered the media day, which was pretty much was a Zoom call if you wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
And the other, so my thing was, well, without any representation there, you kind of hard to you're throwing rocks in the glass house at this point.
Yeah.
From that standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So, and the other thing I noticed was that most of the folks that were complaining about it were the SWAC folks.
Of course
they saying anything.
Of course they are. It's, you know what? I mean, I feel like that's their only discourse is, like, why don't y'all want to play in this bowl? I love the Celebration Bowl.
I do too.
I love going. I'm from Atlanta. I love to fly back home, be with my family members at that game. But at the same time, though, you other people have different perspectives when it comes to this actual game or how the game should be played. A&T and Hampton, definitely wanted. I mean, they've had in the past been able to, I would say, play in the playoffs, and at times I wouldn't, because we're not successful in the playoffs, but we've come. Have y'all
ever won a playoff game?
Oh.
We've only won 1, so I ain't got too much room to talk. But.
So no. So we've had 3 games that were decided by less than touchdown, and
we were close.
Yeah, and the last big one that we played was against New Hampshire at home, and I remember this play just like yesterday. It was Hampton was up by, I think, about 4. And New Hampshire had the ball, and they drove from there. I think they're 8-yard line all the way to our 20, like our 19th yard line on a 4th and on like a 4th and like it was damn near 4th and like 19 or so, and like maybe no more than like 30 seconds left in the game, and the quarterback Ricky Santos, I remember this play, drops back. They had like 4 receivers out. Running back does like, those little where it's like a wheel route. And Jamari Jones went underneath instead of like trying to stay over top, and Santos threw like just a perfect little blob pass on the back corner. Dude caught the ball, game over. That would have been it. Because, and this is the wild part, we were ranked number 2 in the nation during that time. We had Princeton Shepard as a quarterback, Lonzo Coleman, Andrea Jones, Markway McDaniel, Nevin McCaskill, Justin Durant, Kendall Langford, and Marcus Dixon, and Derek Faulkner. We had a huge team, and out of all those guys made it to the NFL, and we lost to a team full of people who didn't even make not one little squad in the NFL. That game, when I say that game just tore us to pieces, man. And this is the wild part. Guess who's the offensive coordinator for that team?
Who?
Chip Kelly.
You can see what type of run he's had.
Man, that hurt, man. So you get why. So you get how bad it was. That hurt.
Yeah.
So, and I'll end here. I will say this though. Ever since that point, Hampton kind of felt that like this is what we want to chase. We like this. We want this more so than anything else. And that's why when we had our chance to leave, that's why we left.
Yeah, I think A&T they were talking about leaving before Celebration Bowl game started.
Yeah.
There was other things going on, man.
Yeah.
And I know there was a whole back and forth on Twitter about how we left, and I'm like, we left pretty clean. Like we left pretty clean, guys.
You guys did. I mean,
y'all did not.
No, we did not. We had a whole legal battle between Dennis Thomas and Dr. Harvey.
No, we left pretty clean, and I think we still play a sport. We still play a sport day. We still play still plays women's bowling in the conference.
Yeah.
So I thought we left pretty clean. I think we gave them a chance to try to improve upon things, and they just made the decision to move on. I mean, schools are going to do what's best for the schools.
Absolutely. So I mean, has there been success? I mean, we're still learning, and I'll just say it like that. So
shout out to Johnny Thornton for the super chat. Look, man, I don't get it. Like I look, man, I know. I think A&T was only favored in one out of those 4 celebration bowls that we won.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We weren't
first one. No.
No, we weren't favored in the first one.
What? Alcorn?
We weren't favored in the. No, I know. I bet on the game.
No,
I know.
No way. Oh, okay. All right. Then
we weren't favored in the first one.
Oh yeah.
I think the second one was more of a
was that Grambling?
Yeah, it was Grambling.
Devontae Kincaid was he? That was Y'all beat Grambling though, right?
Yeah, we beat. Yeah, we it was a close game though. That was a close one.
Yeah, you beat Grambling, and then you had.
Then we had Alcorn again.
Oh yeah.
We weren't favored. We weren't favored the third time either.
That was. I don't know why. Yeah.
And then and I don't think we were favored in the last one either.
And the last one was who again?
Was Alcorn again.
Yeah.
And we dropped 60 on those guys. It was 64 points.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, I guess Alcorn was talking cash, and that's part of the reason why the offense did what they did. So
Alcorn better, of all people.
We didn't traumatize the Swag. We traumatized Alcorn more than anybody else at this rate.
You know what, man? And Alcorn ain't been the same since, man.
Yeah, we traumatized them. We definitely traumatized them.
You know what? Alcorn.
And by the way, Alcorn, you guys still owe us a home game. You still owe us a home game, guys.
How they gonna get up there?
I don't know. But back in the early 2000s, it was a home and home.
They got great.
We went to them, but they never came back to us.
Y'all went down to the reservation?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can see why SWAC fans, they kind of remind me of that scene in the Malcolm X movie where he was like, "What makes you ashamed to be black?" You know what? I mean, look.
But it's all love, man. For me, it's. I think the comeback to the MEAC doesn't solve the fact that we were being a bad football team for the last 2 years.
No,
it doesn't solve that. It doesn't.
And there's a special amount, a huge amount of what our Asian brothers and sisters say, safe face capital. That if we went back, we would have to eat it for eternity. They thought they got high up on the hog and left, and now look at when you came back. It's like. I do not want to deal with that, honestly. So, but I definitely get it.
All right. You said you got time for another segment? Or are you good?
I just heard my wife yelled at me 3 times. So I mean, I am with all of you guys in spirit. Like I really am. I love listening to it. I love being a part of it. But literally, I'm not sleeping on the damn couch because I'm up here doing the podcast. So, my brother, I love you. Let's go to commercial and
it'll be real. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, I found there's been some Sigma perps up here, man. I'll tell you about it next time. I wanted to. No, I'll tell you about it later. But yeah, I've seen.
Oh no!
They God. Deep up in here, man.
All right, let me go ahead and take this first break. When we come back, I'm going to do some discussion points on the SWAC Media Day and the MEAC Media Day, and give you my perspective on what I heard and what I saw on the stand.
I would have now. I would love to have been on that MEAC Media Day.
Okay, all right.
No. You got it.
No, we can hit. We can do it for 5 minutes, and then we go to commercial after 30. All right,
that's fine. Let's do that.
All right, so MEAC Media Day.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Your boy.
Not my boy. What are you doing?
No. Okay. Are we talking about LaShawn?
Yeah, no, he ain't my boy at all. He didn't even play for a team that come covering. He ain't far from it.
I would love for him to see this. I'm gonna say this. When you went on Fox Sports or whatever the show that you were on, and you said, "Let me get Howard," like my first thought was like, what do you mean get something? That is an esteemed university. It's much to my chagrin that I have to say that. Larry Scott is a damn good coach. And then when you said like these young men are going to be I'm gonna have these men, gentlemen. You think this is not that school is not a type of program where gentlemen are there, a bunch of YNs running around on that field. So I felt like he was tone deaf on that TV show, and I felt like he was tone deaf at the media day. And it's like, just do a little bit of research before you actually do these things. This is a HBCU. I know you went to Pitt, but had you known who the right coach was at Howard, and then, the interview wouldn't be so cringeworthy. So I don't know. It's just that I think sometimes we get these. I feel like, and I'm not, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I feel like some of these studio heads just put these brothers on TV who how should I say, they may not have the tongue or the acumen for the job. They just know football, or they just know how to articulate it in that way. But when it comes to matters that matter for a lot of us, they can't do it. So I was very I'm not gonna say disappointed, because I've always been disappointed with his commentary when it comes to these type of things. So it is what it is.
I have a button for y'all. I don't use the buttons often on Cavil. For those who watch P&P knows I have buttons. So I told y'all. I said it was a bad idea from the gate. It was a bad idea from the gate. And for me, and the thing is, I can't even fully blame LaShawn McCoy.
Why?
I blame the person that was in the conference office that thought it was a good idea.
Oh man, hold on. We cannot blame the commissioner.
No, I didn't say the commissioner. It might not have been her idea.
It probably had to be the media relations person.
No, but my point is, I'm a sucker for optics, right? Like I'm like obsessed with optics sometimes.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was a good idea to have somebody who said that he wanted a job of one of the coaches that's going to have to interview? Why would you do that?
First, and it was dumb.
Besides whether or not you like his takes or not, that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
But why would you create that awkward situation?
Like, I bet Larry Scott was sitting in there like, man, I need to swing on this dude. I
don't think he needed to do that, because Larry's secure. He ain't got nothing to worry about, man.
Yeah.
He won the first MEAC title for Howard in over 30 years. Like, he ain't got nothing to be concerned about.
Absolutely.
Like, regardless. Like, I just feel like sometimes you got to get out of here, man. I just think sometimes the idea. Yeah, I know. Look, I heard. Brother. I just think the idea is not the idea was just rough. And I'll probably continue on after the break about it. But all right. And because I want to get into details of what happened on me and Day, but I'm gonna let you go. We'll be right back after this break. Hopefully, Brandon King will be here as well, and we'll talk about Swag Media Day, Media Day, and he's gonna go be a dad. Peace, Jeff. It's been real.
There's a shot.
That might be.
It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you, guys, for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a
fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Cavil's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeaversVoice.com. Cavil's Voice, Cavil's Voice, CavilsVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab. This is episode 684, and this is the Indy Report. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the conversation on the MEAC Media Day. And somebody made a valid point, Brian. I completely agree. Jay and Tiffany should have been interviewing the coaches and let Shady talk to the players. That would make more sense, and that would probably make the players more comfortable as well. And they would ask them. And I think Shady would probably be better in his element in that regard. So I completely agree with you with this sentiment. I think with that decision, I just felt like it was just so. It was somewhat tone deaf a little bit. And that's just how I feel about it. But if it's about getting eyeballs, you definitely accomplished the mission there. But I don't know if it's like all eyeballs ain't necessarily good eyeballs at some point. And that was just my thoughts on the matter. Now, with regards to like what happened at MEAC Media Day, player of the year was Jason Collins from Oregon State, which well deserved, but the odd thing, well, I would say Walker Harris from the school down the road probably should have been player of the year, but that's neither here nor there. But I think the more shocking thing for me was that he was on the second team. I was kind of taken aback when I noticed that piece of the puzzle. Defensive player of the year was Eric Hunter. That's a no-brainer. I think Eric Hunter with that defense is going to give Morgan State a chance to win the conference. The order of finish, they had South Carolina State at number 1, school down the road at number 2, Morgan State number 3, Norfolk State number 4, Howard 5, Dell State number 6. And I will say this, I think Morgan State will probably be higher than 3rd. I think they're going to I don't think they're going to win the conference, but I think they're probably the biggest threat to the school down the road. Because I don't think South Carolina State's going to win the conference, guys. I just don't. I think they've lost too much, and I don't know if they've filled all those holes. But I think this is the school down the road's conference to lose at this point. But they're good to lose. They're good for losing the conference game. So depending on who they lose that conference game to, we'll see. Yeah, he is good. I mean, I would say Kevon King has probably a stronger argument. But I mean, blame the voters, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I think the school down the road should win this conference. Wouldn't be shocked if they go undefeated in this conference. I'm fascinated to see how Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson do in their first year coaching in this conference. And I'm also curious to see if they see this through. I think Vic is definitely going to see this through. But I'm fascinated to see how long Deshaun Jackson is going to stick around for this. Because Delaware State is a separate challenge in itself. I mean, they have a separate challenge. I'm hoping that they turn it around. It'll be fascinating because that makes the conference stronger if everybody's good. Michael Vick's going to have a pretty interesting opener against Townsend, so we'll see how that goes on Thursday Night Football. So that's going to be fascinating to watch when that game happens. But overall, like, I don't agree with South Carolina State being number one. I think the school down the road should be number one. I think South Carolina State's going to take a step back, and I don't think Howard's going to be as bad as what people say they're going to be. So it's going to be a fascinating season. But I know Norfolk State's excited about Michael Vick being there, and so it'll be fascinating to see what he does in his first year. Because he does have a pretty decent, he probably has a pretty good staff. He's done okay recruiting, it seems. So it'll be fascinating to see if Norfolk State can actually surprise some folks and do some damage in the conference. But overall, I would just flip the top three, and pretty much it. I don't think Del State. There's gonna be some growing pains for Del State. Even though they do have a bona fide quarterback, it looks like, even though they just lost Malachi Adams to the portal. Marquise Adams to the portal, excuse me. Malachi Adams, Marquise Adams to the portal. Now, as for the SWAC, Jackson State is slated to win the East. Southern is slated to win the West. And they had Prairie View third place in the West, which I thought was a little bit too low. I feel like Prairie View. I got Prairie View winning the West. I'm just a believer in T-Jack. I'm a believer in the coach there. However, Jackson State is going to run through that conference. I think Jackson State is ahead of everybody else by a decent margin. Like, and shout out to them. Sam Herder ranked Jackson State 12th in his top 25 poll. They got a strong argument for top 10. 12th is pretty good, but they got a strong argument for top 10. But I expect Jackson State to run through the conference. I see a scenario where they could go undefeated. But I will say that Hampton's not going to be the pushover that people think that they're going to be for the opener. I think Hampton's going to cover the spread, whatever that spread is. I think the spread is still double digits right now. I think Hampton's going to cover the spread. And I think Hampton's going to be a tough out. But that will be good for Jackson State, because if they can pull that out, that'll be a good test for them going against their FBS opponent. So that'll be interesting to see. But I think Hampton might be one of the tougher games that we're not discussing. Adrian's funny. Norfolk State ain't going to the Celebration Bowl, man. Not yet. I would love to see the band battle, though. It'd be nice. If they go undefeated, you got to put them in the top 6. I think it would be hard not to. I mean, it's hard to go undefeated, man. And then if they did go undefeated, they would have beaten the FBS program, which is impressive in itself. And it would be the first one in a very long time for an HBCU to do. So I think 13 is like, top 15 is fine, but they got a strong argument for top 10. But I know it's tough because of historically about who they've played. But whenever I get into that discussion, I get beat up pretty bad. I don't think anybody has a chance. I don't think anybody in the SWAC has a chance to beat those guys, man. I really don't. I just don't. Barring injury, obviously. Like, if injuries happen, that's a whole different ballgame. We're having a different discussion then. But as of right now, where it stands, I don't think there's anybody else that's going to be able to beat Jackson. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how that flies. Yeah, I could see Hampton doing it, man. I really do. Like, I think but things are gonna have to go perfect. But that would be big. And then we'll be having different discussions about it, right? Like, if Hampton goes into Jackson and beats Jackson State, there's gonna be some legitimate conversation that need to be had. And I won't be interested in downplaying it. Like, shout out to Dr. Cavil. Hampton got to stay in your top 5 if they beat Jackson, man. They got to stay in the top 5. Like, because even if Jackson loses to Hampton and loses to Southern Miss, I still think Jackson's going to run through the conference. Like, I do. So that's just how I feel about it. So I think Jackson State, even though they lost a lot, they still were able to recruit very well, and I think they could potentially be better than what they were last year. So I don't see a scenario otherwise when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, y'all could lose to Hampton, guys. I remember when Hampton played Grambling, and everybody thought Grambling was going to beat them except for me. And I was like, I don't think you understand Hampton. I think Hampton could go into Jackson and snip them. I don't think they will, but it could happen. Like, I think that's more likely than a SWAC team beating them. I think it's more likely for Hampton to come into Jackson and win than a SWAC team beating them this year. You never know. Yeah. Yeah, them beating Southern Miss would be big for the conference. That'll be big for Jackson State, too. That'd be huge for Jackson State if they can do that. I didn't even see the coaches poll. If Hampton wins, then the game versus FAMU November 1st becomes even bigger. Yeah. Who's going to win more games, Delaware State or A&T? I'll say A&T. I think A&T will win more games than Delaware State. I'm confident in saying that. Even though Delaware State got a much easier schedule than us. We're playing 2 top 25 teams. I'm gonna say A&T still. I'm gonna say A&T still. All right, Mr. King's here. So after the break, we're gonna bring him in, but I'm gonna do a short break because I want to have a nice 15-minute conversation before we close out the show. So we'll be right back after this break.
HBCU football fans, the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff is celebrating 20 years this August. From Birmingham to Orlando to campus sites and now in Atlanta. The Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff has been a mainstay in HBCU athletics. 2 decades of providing a national platform on ESPN and now ABC for the finest HBCU programs in the country and some of the most talented players and coaches that have represented them. To Forrest Jackson, Tariq Cohen, Javon Hargrave, Darius Leonard, Rod Broadway, Buddy Pugh, all have left their mark on this storied event. This year, we celebrate by welcoming North Carolina Central and Southern to Atlanta, which has cemented its place as the HBCU football capital. Every team who participates in this event looks to start and finish their season in the A by gaining a spot in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. That, however, is earned by becoming conference champions. And it starts right here in Week 0. MEAC versus SWAC. The rivalry is real. Thank you for the last 20 years of support. The story never ends.
Press the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is the Indy Report, and I'm with my main man, Brandon King. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, my brother. Please forgive my tardiness, dad stuff.
That's okay. So. It's okay. I know how to drag things pretty well around here. So, what are your thoughts? I'm going to ask you a couple questions, then we're going to get into the OVC. What are your thoughts on the MEAC Media Day and what happened? It's been 2 weeks since we've done this show. So, what are your thoughts?
A slight degree. Well, okay. Let me say it like this. So, tell me that you didn't research the event that you were covering without telling us you didn't research the event that you were covering / hosting, and I will give you MEAC Media Day. That's it in a nutshell. I, yeah, I was. It was funny, but like in a sad way. The optics were bad. It was bad on Shade. It was just bad on were there not production meetings? Was there nothing? And did they just throw him a mic? Like, all right, go out there and talk. Like it just seemed it stung of a lack of preparation. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, considering the MEAC can't afford no missteps. Everything they do from here on out needs to be on point, and this was not the best look for them in this instance.
Nah, man. I've already gave my spill. I don't blame. Like I said earlier, I don't blame McCoy. I don't blame McCoy at all. I don't blame McCoy. He was invited. He was invited by somebody.
Lord, give the man some show notes or something.
He had notes.
Oh my God, that makes it even. Oh my God.
He had notes. Like he made a lot of mistakes. Like we're just talking about the Hampton Howard thing. He made a few kerfuffles throughout that ordeal. Hampton Howard was the one that everybody went viral on, but he was slipping a couple times during that run.
Which is surprising. You know, it's not like he's someone who's not used to being in front of a camera.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right. Next order of business, because your squad's in the OVC, man. They had y'all picked to go 8th out of 9 teams, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So, please, sir, how are you feeling?
Okay. Couple things. I think this may sound bad to say this, but obviously, you know, considering the changes in the program and all those sorts of things, you know, and the lack of unknowns, you know, quarterback, defense, and what the team is going to look like at a certain level, I can understand. I think, to me, maybe it's a little anti-HBCU bias. We'll slap them at the bottom of the conference. And granted, up until the past few years, we've stunk, so it's not like it's totally without merit. But do I think we'll finish 8th in the conference? I don't.
I don't think I will either.
I think the more I see what's going on, the staff that Coach Barlow is putting together, the more confidence I'm starting to have in what we're going to see in terms of on the field. And this is just going to be year one. So I could really see them getting, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they win 6 games. I'm becoming more bullish.
As long as one of them not against A&T, we okay. You better find that 6 somewhere else, sir.
Well, we got to start the season off on a positive note. So
no, nobody needs to start a season on a positive note more than the team that's only won 2 games in 2 years. Let me tell you something. Nobody needs to start a season on a positive note more than us right now. Okay.
Well, look, we're not trying to be the stepping stone for y'all to get back on your feet.
No, listen, you're the perfect stepping stone for us. And single tickets go on sale on Monday for you guys. So I'm already going to be getting ready to cop my tickets immediately on Monday. How bad was the turnover at Tennessee State?
We're bringing back 1 starter on defense. As Coach Barlow said, 1 returning player who started on defense. So you're going to be without your quarterback. You've lost multiple guys on the offensive line. You've lost a couple of your running backs. A lot out of the passing game. It was It was substantial. Now, granted, some of that was, graduating, things of that nature. And then, some of it was anytime you have a coaching change, is going to be roster turnover. So it was fairly significant.
Yeah, yeah. Zach don't believe your 6 games either. By the way, Zach ain't trying to hear that. Zach ain't trying to hear that. But I will. I have faith in Reggie Barlow as a coach. I just don't want. I don't want him to figure it out till after the A&T game. Okay, I don't. I just don't.
You,
Yes,
you know,
6 players return who played over 200 snaps. That is.
yeah, yeah. It's practically a brand new roster,
Yeah.
or
I guess I'll.
and an inexperienced one. So guys
Yeah.
that are coming back.
So I'll ask you this question since I answered earlier. Who's going to win more games, Delaware State or A&T?
Woo! I came in right at the tail end. You know what? I'm sorry to say, I think Delaware State may.
They got an easy
And the
schedule,
only
man.
they do. And then if this dude that they brought in at the quarterback position, if he can really spin it,
it's funny to me.
then I think that'll probably get him a couple of games in the MEAC, I think. And like I said, their schedule is easier.
Oh God, it
And
is.
so I mean,
I
they're
didn't
set
realize
up to
they got Albany at home.
do them.
They open up against Delaware at Delaware. But they're gonna. And by the way, just for folks who don't realize, they're never playing Delaware in Dover ever again. That's over now. That's not happening anymore. I don't think. I'll be shocked. But they got Delaware. Then they got Albany. See, they got Bowie State. They got Bowie State at home. They got St. Francis. They got soon to be new member of the CAA, Sacred Heart. They got some tough ones on here. They got Monmouth. Oh, Monmouth's going woof. In New Jersey too. Woof. That's gonna be a tough one. Then they got Southern Connecticut State for their homecoming. Yay. They better win that game. I mean, they got 2 automatic wins off that alone. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then they get in the MEAC play in October, in late October. They got the school down the road, Norfolk State, Morgan, Howard, South Carolina State. The last 2 games are in Dover at least, so it's gonna be cold for their last 2 games. So Howard and South Carolina State got to play in the cold. Yeah, valid point. But but Zach, that wins are just wins. It doesn't matter if it's D1 or D2. Wins are wins.
Right? That is
wins
true.
Are wins. Wins are wins. They're not gonna. There won't be no context in the wins. But you are correct. They have 3 games that aren't Division 1. Right? They got Bowie State, or Bowie State, Southern Connecticut State. St. Francis is not in D3 yet, but they're going to D3. So
you have to like your chances at least picking up those 3. 2 out of 3 at the absolute worst.
They could be Sacred Heart too, truth be told. But we'll see. They could be Sacred Heart as well.
That happens. I was looking at 4 wins.
Yeah, we can win 4-2. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be much harder. All right, I was gonna talk about this, and then we can close out the show with this. So they announced SWAC TV, which starts on Friday. It's gonna be ready to rock. They're gonna start doing stuff on Friday. So, but shout out to the SWAC, man. I love the fact that they got this off the ground, and I love the fact that they're gonna have one place to see pretty much everything. Like, I know everybody's like hyped for the football side of it, but I'm thinking about the basketball side of it, the women's basketball side, softball, baseball, like the other sports that nobody really talks about enough. I know Dr. Cavil does baseball during the baseball season and stuff like that, but like the other sports is where this is going to shine. So I love this. I love this.
I would love to be able to watch like track and field and some of the other.
Heck yeah, man! I haven't downloaded it yet, but I plan on doing it before the first.
I had I had neither, but I'm glad that they're, like I said, they've got to where you've got kind of a centralized platform or a hub for their content.
Yeah, man, that's big. Like that's big. Like I know how folks feel about Flow Sports, but the one positive thing about Flow Sports from the CAA is that I don't have to worry about where my games are. I can catch every single one of those games.
See that?
Lennon,
that was
this is a phenomenal question about HBCU Nightly. I do not know. I have no idea. But I do need to talk to Banks to figure out when I want to restart EMD. I do have to have that conversation with him. Should the swag charge a low subscription fee to generate some guaranteed revenue? Not yet.
That was what I was just about to say.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's see what it looks like first. Let's see what it's showing first. Like you gotta, first step is get the base. Build the base. Then once you build the base, and then once y'all build the base, then you go from there. Then you look into potentially charging something.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me go ahead and close out the show because ONG Strike Zone's up next. All right. Let me see here. All right. Let's get to the outro. Thank you for listening to Inside HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. Make sure you follow Dr. Kiana Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you follow Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook and Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We will talk to you soon. Brandon.
Of course.
Lecture dismissed.